that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut
like
fries,
a twice-baked
Texas
potato,
toast.
you got me?
You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Chuck, I think
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
You go to Walmart, you know right where everything is.
That's true. I make my list based on the normal route that I take through the store.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. It reduces steps.
It reduces steps is not what your fitness ring on your iPhone is telling you to do.
Well, I mean,
you made your fitness ring today, Chuck?
If you want to spend all your day walking around in the grocery store and that's how you want to achieve your fitness goals, then you go right ahead.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Well, if you conked out last night, Oklahoma beat Georgia in the late game of the SEC tournament, long after the Razorbacks won their game, and we'll get into all that as we get through the program this morning. I'm in Nashville, Bo's in the studio. Guys, if you don't mind, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't start with the passing of Oliver Miller. I don't know that Arkansas has ever had a player who was as unconditionally loved by the fan base as Oliver Miller. And I'm going to suspect that yesterday afternoon and last night, for those who are old enough to remember when Big O played, there was as much conversation about Oliver Miller's passing as there was about the ball game yesterday. I can tell you in Nashville, guys, at the hotel, among the people, again, who are old enough to remember, that's all anybody talked about. The big smile and just how much joy he brought all of us as we watched Razorback basketball back then. But Oliver Miller passing at 54, just far, far, far too young. And I know a lot of people are really talking about that right now.
I mean, Chuck, you have great players, and then you have great players that transcend just being a great player, being a personality. Being a one-of-a-kind. He's in the Arkansas Media Guide 66 times for all the different
Is he really?
accomplishments. Yeah, 66 times.
Wow.
Read that this morning in an article paying tribute to him. Had 10 blocks in a game. The guy weighed 300 pounds. Had 10 blocks in a game. Had 100 blocks.
He didn't always weigh 300 pounds. There were some times here where he was in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
But, he got big, man.
He
got
became
big.
the only Razorback with at least 100 blocks and 100 assists in the same season. But it was his personality that was as big as anything, right? Bigger than life, always smiling, always fun. I had a chance to do a hog pod with him a few years ago. And when we do that, I like to ask players, current and past, when your time as a Razorback is done, how do you hope Razorback fans will remember you? My smile. And so he
yeah.
I gotta
And that is what they remember.
But let me give you the better audio here.
My smile.
Okay.
That's all. Every time I go back, I always have some fans like, you had the most wonderful smile, and I'm like, thank you. And that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to keep people happy.
Now, how about that? How about all the accomplishments he had, and he was glad he's being remembered for his smile?
Well, that is what people remember. That's what they remember more than anything. They remember it more than the block of Shaq's shot and the game at Barnhill. They remember the smile, because I've always believed this about Oliver Miller. He enjoyed being a Razorback as much as all of us imagined we would enjoy it if we had that chance. I mean, he seemed to love every single second of living out our fantasy. And he did it better than anybody. I mean, there were better players. We've had better players. There were better players on that team, although he was a great one. But I don't think anybody enjoyed being a Razorback more than Oliver Miller. And fans identified with that, and they always will. And he will always be a beloved figure, as much for his personality as his ability to play. But when Big O decided to play, there wasn't a better big man out there. And I don't think Shaq ever beat him as a collegian. And, I mean, when Big O decided to turn it on, he could turn it on.
6'9", and you mentioned his weight fluctuating throughout his career a little bit. What else? Give me just your recollection of him from sort of beginning to end at Arkansas.
You know, it was a time when we knew something special was happening, but we also went through a really rocky period there. You know, the first couple of seasons with Coach Richardson, I say we. Nobody went through it more than he did and they did. But, you know, Ron Hury kind of got it all started. But when the second coming of the triplets, you know, when you had Big O and Todd Day and Lee Mayberry, it made us all think of Ron Brewer and Marvin Delph and Sidney Moncrief. And they were the new triplets, and they took the state by storm. And, I mean, look at this guy's record. Look at the record the Razorbacks had while he was here. I mean, it was just unbelievable. They didn't just win, they dominated. And
115 and 24.
115 and 24.
Yeah, and regular season conference championships each season from 1998 to 1992. 3 in the Southwest Conference, 1 in the SEC.
It was total dominance. You know, it was a time when you could still go to the games and you could still make trips relatively inexpensively by comparison. And lots of people flocked to Dallas to that conference tournament, and those were the great days. And the Big O was front and center, and he was the one that after games would jump into the crowd. You know, sometimes players leave the arena and they make a beeline for the bus, or they make a beeline just to get away from everything. Big O jumped right in the middle of it. And he enjoyed it as much as the people there. And that's why they loved him.
Fan favorite and a teammate favorite. Played 9 seasons in the NBA. Played with Charles Barkley in Phoenix.
You know, that's one thing to notice. And I noticed this on social media yesterday and last night. You know, Oliver Miller was not an all-star. Oliver Miller was not one of the top 75 players of all time. But there's been an outpouring among former teammates. And you know, the league issued statements, and the Raptors and the Suns and the Kings, the teams that he played for. And they all knew that there'd been a connection there. And you said it a minute ago. I mean, his personality transcended his play. And he was a very good player. I mean, you don't just show up and play in the NBA for, you know, almost a decade. But he did have a big personality that made people love him even when they were mad at him. And, I mean, there's a trick to that. And Big O had mastered it, let me tell you.
I guess if you summed it up, it was a big man that could shoot really well, that could pass really well, was thought of as one of the best passing big men in the game, and block shots. I mean, very versatile.
When I grew up, when I grew up, Bill Walton was the best passing big man in college basketball, pro basketball, period. And I still think he is, just for the record. But Oliver Miller's the best passing big man we've ever had, and one of the best to ever play in the Southwest Conference. And again, when he decided he wanted to, he could play. Coach Richardson talked about one time about how Oliver Miller was one of the smartest players he'd ever played for, that he saw the floor like a point guard, and understood the game and knew what people were doing in other spots and could anticipate other people's moves. And not everybody can do that. There are lots of guys who can play basketball that don't fully understand the game. Big O is one of those guys who, I mean, you could tell by what he did and the way he saw the floor. I mean, he understood what was going on out there.
Arkansas's career leader in field goal percentage at about 64%. Blocks, 345. Third in rebounds, 886. And ninth in career points. And again, 66 different times he's listed in Arkansas's media guide as doing something amazing.
Well, and, you know, all those guys were thinking about more because of the reunion that they had recently. And one of the things that happens when you have some of these reunions is these guys walk out and you realize that, you know, even our heroes get old. And sadly, even our heroes die. Now, Oliver's gone way too soon. I mean, I can't imagine 54 years old. But, you know, that is one of the things that is just a cold, hard reality. But I do think we've thought a lot more about that group because they brought them back. And it turns out to have been very timely, and I'm sure glad they did it.
Oliver Miller, remembering him this morning, nice tribute there. And Chuck's memories, we'll hear from Clay a little bit later on. But Oliver Miller passes away at the age of 54 after a battle with cancer.
And I know he would have been pulling for the Razorbacks yesterday.
No question.
If he'd been able to.
Till the very end.
He
talked about it a lot.
You know, he was at, I don't recall if it was the regional in San Francisco. Might have been. Oliver was there. I mean, he showed up, and he was pretty visible in the hotel, and, man, our fans loved it.
So the Hogs get a much-needed win yesterday.
I'd say so.
We'll talk about that coming up, but thoughts with Oliver Miller's family, prayers with them, and rest in peace, big fella. Razorback fans will always remember you. It's 6:13, the Chuck and Bo Show on a Thursday. Good morning.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, A Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, A Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's A Cut Above, 719-5605.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
You're listening to The Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I'm just kind of wondering about your hip. Have you taken, Jamie out for like a date at like the club where you guys can dance or anything?
Bo, I thought you was going to ask me something else when you mentioned the hip to Jamie.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You feel however you want about Pippen, but the guy's an entertainer. The guy can hold an audience. You can see why he's had success recruiting over the years with offensive linemen in particular. His really most of his career. I think he's done some good things in recruiting at Arkansas as well. We won't know what really kind of roster that you're going to have this year until we get to fall. I really don't know how to feel about Razorback football. We've talked about it a little bit already. Spring ball's underway, and they got some pieces back on offense, but they've also got holes to fill. Same on defense. But when you have your quarterback and your coordinator back, it's a good place to start with Petrino. And he was on the other day, and he was fun. As always. A big win yesterday, Chuck.
It was a big win.
I feel like, and I apologize for the allergies.
You have COVID?
This is not the COVID. This is not Bo up all night. This is not, I went to the Justin Moore concert last night. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to be worth anything. This is not, I've smoked a pack of cigarettes so I can do movie trailers later this morning. It's none of that. And I'm like sucking down the best cough drops, the worst tasting but best cough drops medically known to man, which are
Fisherman's Friend.
Fisherman's Friend. I recommend it. I should have an NIL deal with them. I've put more people on Fisherman's Friend over the last 20 years than I can count. But it's the only thing I know that actually makes a difference. And so maybe by like 7:30 today, maybe this will have worked its way out. Maybe I can go get on a treadmill and cough it out. I don't know. Maybe I should smoke. Maybe that'll help.
Probably not.
But I feel okay. I sound horrible, which is actually most days. It's just a different kind of sound today.
You sound great. You sound like a guy battling through right now.
Oh yeah, is it inspiring? Are you kind of fired up?
It is.
Yeah. That's not.
Well, I am. Yeah.
Let's get into the important stuff.
New life.
Before we break down this game, let's get into the important stuff. Which, by the way, the phone lines are open, and I want to test a couple of our listeners today. Can you call in with something really meaningful and important? And this is a loaded question. This is a little bit of a setup, but I want to get a call or two or a text and see if a point you make about the game. Like like if we were putting you on ESPN as an analyst, this is a test to see if you're good at your job, like nailing a good point, making a good point. Because a lot of the points that I heard coming out of the game and what the focus of the conversation was after the game yesterday was almost completely irrelevant to the outcome of the game. Like almost completely irrelevant to what happened at all in the game. But it was the topic of conversation.
What'd you hear?
Well, I don't want to out it completely just yet. I mean, I think we all know probably what I'm talking about, but it didn't have any bearing or impact on the game, but it was the most talked about thing coming out of the game. There were so many other important things to this game, at least 2 or 3 really big points to this game that almost nobody talked about that I heard or saw on social media. 877-377-6963 if you want to get in here and just humor me for a second on this. But I have I'll make one of the points. I'm
anxious to hear this, too.
I'll make one of the big points right now. I finally figured out what it is about this team that you can't get on board with. That as good as things have, as well as things have gone lately. What have they won? 8 of their last 11 or 12? 8 of their last 12? They won 5 of their last 6. Hey, news flash. Alert, breaking news. Has anybody noticed this? They're on a 3-game winning streak. Has anybody noticed that? They've won 3 in a row. Is that the first time it's happened since January?
Since the end of non-conference.
Okay,
yeah.
Since December.
I was going to say probably December or November.
Since prior to Christmas. Ooh, you hear that? It's getting better if I yell. Since prior to Christmas, this team has its first 3-game winning streak. And they're without 2 of their best players. Or their 2 best players. So that's a good point. But here's why people are really struggling with the Razorbacks. But I'm going to give you, I'll tell you after we hear from Heath. Heath has taken the challenge. Heath and Cabot, make a point about yesterday's game. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Heath.
Hey, Heath.
Hey, Bo, listen. Bo, you're using the wrong cough drops, man. Okay, you've got to use Vicks Vapor Cool. If you're serious about your throat hurting and your voice scratchy, Vicks Vapor Cool cough drops. I'm telling you, man, will change your world. You're stuffy, put 2 of those in your mouth, you're going to breathe easy, man. I guarantee you.
All
but
right, I'm gonna try it.
It'll put some hair on your chest, man. You got to be a man to take those cough drops. They're pretty tough. They're for big boys. So I think you can handle it. But Chuck, you need to go get him some. But let me tell you something. That game yesterday.
Want to get me anything.
The first half, great, but Arkansas just does not have that killer instinct. They cannot put teams away. I mean, being up 17 at the half and only winning before, I mean, listen, a win's a win, no matter how you look at it. But going down the stretch, I mean, that could be problematic. Not only that, but I think Big Z's injury, that really hampered him. So, I mean, that's something definitely to look at. But, I mean, look, hey, one more win, that should put them in the show. I mean, that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah,
that's all I got this morning.
Oh, they're already in the show.
No, you made it.
They're already in the show.
Heath, thanks for making a valid point. That was actually a good point. The point that I'll just give it to you, Chuck. The point all anybody wanted to talk about yesterday was the end of the game and whether Nelly should have tried to miss the free throw and Cal's explanation for it and all that, which is fun to talk about. I totally get it. But there's virtually nothing Arkansas could have done there to lose the game, like in terms of making or missing the shot. There's 2 seconds left. So you clank it off the rim. The chances of them making a 3-quarter shot, like from their free throw line to the other end, almost impossible. Obviously, if Nelly makes the shot, you go up 4 to win the game. But by the way, how many times has Nelly made 1 of 2 free throws? How many times has he made 2 of 2 at the end of the game? I don't have the stats on that, but it's not like a lock that he's going to make the shot. But it was funny to me, and I get the discussion, how much that dominated the conversation on social media about the Razorbacks, from national basketball analysts who don't like Cal, from local media who want to take shots whenever they can. It almost had zero bearing on anything. There's like, of all the percentage chances of what could happen in that game, that was the least meaningful thing that happened in the game. But I get it. It's fun to talk about. The biggest thing that happened in the game is what? They went almost 12 minutes without making a basket. You could have taken a 30-minute lunch break, and you would not have missed Arkansas scoring. Like in real time. You could have gone to a restaurant, sat down, had a meal, came back, turned the game on, and they were still at, 61 points. That's what happens with this team sometimes, Chuck, that is just like, what is going on? And it's not just it's not just like they're going away. It's officiating all of a sudden changes. They don't get foul calls. Like the calls they were getting earlier, they don't get. The calls that weren't going against them go against them. The layups that were going in suddenly don't go in. The threes that were going in suddenly rim out. And then they do some stupid things, like bad turnovers. But it's like, I know this sounds ridiculous, a curse. Like something takes a hold of this team for like 3, 4, 5, 12 minutes at a time. And we've seen that so many times. Again, they've won 3 in a row. They've won 5 of their last 6. They've had a remarkable second half of the conference schedule. They've put themselves in the NCAA tournament. And no matter who they play and how many points they get up on, that team, we're all like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? That was revealing to me yesterday.
When I watch college basketball games this year, Arkansas is not the only one that goes through this stuff.
That's true.
More than ever,
we
it's a
forget
game of
that
runs.
they had the run at the end of the first half where South Carolina wasn't making any shots.
Well, and look, that's what happens during runs. Whether you're on one or the other guys are on one, you're not going to get any calls. Every bounce is going to go the other way. They're going to get every 50-50 ball. Every shooter's roll is going to go their way, and yours are going to go down and out. And that's what happens, and that's what happened yesterday. The thing that they were able to do and the thing that they're able to do now, let me backtrack just for a second. Cold spells are one of the characteristics of teams that are not necessarily among the top 10 or 15 in the country. Even they go through cold spells, but extended droughts. Oklahoma built a nice lead for a little while. There were other games yesterday where teams built nice leads, and then the other team would come back, and that's just one of those characteristics of teams that can't quite move into that top 15, top 10. They're susceptible to things like that. But here's what Arkansas was able to do yesterday. They were able to find a way to win the game. Trevin Brazile saved the game. When you can't shoot, sometimes an offensive rebound will save the game. And that's what happened there. Arkansas got 5 points down the stretch, crucial possessions off second chances. And Brazile had hands in all those. And I just thought at the end there, they went through that stretch. That is maddening. But they made plays at the end, and that's why they're still alive.
Here's the play that won the game for Arkansas.
Along the baseline, dribble, handoff, Davis, three-pointer, left wing, no good. Brazile saves the rebound. Outlet to Wagner, three-pointer, good. DJ Wagner with the three. Brazile may have saved the game right there.
That was almost 12 minutes, 30 minutes probably, of real time where Arkansas hadn't made a basket. So, Chuck, in your career, is that the best basket you've called? How happy were you to call?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if it was the best, but it was much needed because they were.
I could hear it in your
voice. They were
like,
slipping away.
Good mercy, thank God.
It was a relief, that's for sure.
Bart and I were at walk-ons watching the game. We're sitting at a table. The guy's behind us. This is like 10 minutes into this drought. The guy sitting behind us looks at like his son, and he goes, "Man, we really need to get a bucket right here."
Man, my dad's so wise.
I'm like, yeah, we sure do. But everybody was thinking the same thing. If you could just if you can just get the 64, maybe you win the game. They were on 61 forever. I don't know if I ever want to see that number again.
Yeah,
Also, apologize
they were on
to
it for a
everyone
long
who had
time.
Arkansas minus 4.5.
Yeah, so that's another thing.
Oh, yeah.
Bart had the Hogs.
I thought about that at the end of the game. I wondered what you were thinking, Bart.
Yeah, he had the Hogs. He had them at minus 4.5.
Just an atrocious.
Oh, no.
So our conversation today, this is what gambling does to you, Chuck. Our conversation today.
Arkansas lost.
Well, we're going to talk about Trevin Brazil saving the game with that long rebound save into DJ, and he hits the three. Bart's like, man, that guy cost me 4.5 on the turnover. Completely different conversation. Completely.
Yeah. Great rebound, great pass, whatever. The turnover.
Yeah, whatever.
Never mind, he had 16 points, 7 rebounds, four steals.
That's why you never bet on the Razorbacks.
That's exactly
never
right.
bet on the Razorbacks.
Never bet on
it
your
just
team.
tears your heart apart.
I thought the line was way low, and for a half of the game, I was correct in that assessment.
We'll get into some of Cal.
Oh, you were feeling good, I'll bet.
I was feeling great, Chuck.
We'll get into some of Cal, the game, the win, what's next, and where it leaves Arkansas. Some analysts are still like, if they win 2 or 3 more games, maybe they'll get in. Joe Lunardi has removed Arkansas from the bubble.
Yeah, he's got him as a 9 seed now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How does that happen?
I didn't know that. I saw him at 10 yesterday.
Yeah. He updated over.
Gosh, what if they win today?
Well,
probably a 5 seed.
Are they going to be seated higher than Vanderbilt? I mean, I kept hearing all season long how Vanderbilt's going to be a 7 or an 8 seed. Is Arkansas going to be seated higher than Vanderbilt, Bart?
I'm looking at the bracket right now.
He didn't ask me.
Yes.
Well-
Yes, Chuck. Yes. In all likelihood, that would be correct. Yeah. Lunardi's got Vandy.
Vandy dropped to 10, maybe. Arkansas to 9.
11. Vandy.
Wow.
There you go. That's Bart in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. We'll come back to that. We need more. Like, what's happening? Where do we stand? We'll do that next. Hey, it's tax season. Don't forget to file. You can do it easily with H&R Block. They do the work for you. You walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. H&R Block, just around the corner. 6:33. Good morning. It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about Bill's...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a Flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking
It
up
just
the vibes
seems
of
like the
race day.
delay's
It's
worse
time to
today.
make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday,
sounds
December
good on our
6th.
end,
Reserve
I'm not
seats,
sure.
rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite
I can
Oaklawn
tell when I
restaurant.
talk that it's about a...
This is my Oaklawn.
I can tell from Bo's reply,
Gambler.
and I can hear in my left ear on my return
living room at like 6
that
a.m. and just started talking.
maybe
each other's
it's
heads
not a
off.
full second,
There's
but
no
it's
good
more
morning.
just
I
a
can't have my
fraction
first
today.
cup of
Somebody
coffee.
would get shot.
And I can tell by Bo's answers and Bart's answer there that it's delayed by half a second to a second.
5 seconds to go. Matt, right side. Three-pointer on the
I
way.
just did.
No good.
Okay.
Pulls with the dunk at the buzzer. It goes and Arkansas wins. It goes and Arkansas wins.
I'm not going to repeat.
Arkansas wins the ball game.
I don't think that's
Listen to
it.
every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
As well, Chuck, so we'll see.
At Evans Body
Okay.
Shop, we take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
They keep us posted at every stage. We get phone calls saying it's going to the paint shop or the parts have come in, and they've always just exceeded everything that we hope to have.
They do absolute fantastic work. Never have any complaints from anybody I know. My family has gone to them, my friends. I refer everybody I know to Evans Body Shop.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 5-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I'm dragging a little bit. I don't know exactly why.
That's unnatural for you, Bo. You're one of these high energy guys. You're one of these guys that gets up and, you people make me sick.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That's hilarious. Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room is alive and well. It's becoming.
You're battling today.
A little bit. I mean, I feel fine. I sound terrible. And I think it's. We're working our way through it.
Oh, yeah, you sound like it.
Yeah.
You sound like any moment it'll be finished.
I sound like the late, great Hammer and Hank who used to call Chuck's show and then in my show from Prairie Grove. And one day he said there was a storm coming and he was calling from under his bed. And he had this, and it sounded like he called from the bottom of a swimming pool. Just more fluid all up in your sinuses and head, and like he's like gargling under a swimming pool. I know a lot of people this time of year are dealing with that allergy situation. So good luck to us all. Thanks for the cough drop recommendations. I'll try that. I'll try the one we got a second ago. But I'm a fisherman's friend guy. Like that's been
You're a loyalist.
Career-wise, it's helped me.
Yeah, I mean, you've been using them as long as I've known you.
It's gotten me through a few shows. It definitely has over the
There's
years.
nothing worse than doing a broadcast when you're like have a cold, a sore throat, your sinuses are messed up, and you're just trying to speak and talk, and it's just rough.
Well,
I feel for you.
And you want to be there, but you also don't want to sound terrible and unlistenable, at least not on purpose. I know that I can sound like that without realizing I sound like that, but it gets in your head when you know you sound unlistenable. Turns out
you sound
like that
fine.
more
You don't
than I
sound
realize.
unlistenable.
Well, I mean, it's for other
No,
reasons.
you don't sound
It's usually what I'm saying, not how it sounds. That can be unlistenable.
I don't pay as much attention to that.
Depending on who you're talking to. Yeah. Well, that's what keeps us together, Chuck. When I go on a rant or whatever, you just kind of check out. It's like Frank Broyles. You know, he just kind of go right mid-nap there for a minute. You know? It's like now seems like a time I can close my eyes for a few minutes. And
it's not quite.
That's kind of how you do it. All right, Bart, let's get to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. By the way, Chevy of Fayetteville, you can electrify the first quarter of this new year at Chevy of Fayetteville. Get up to $15,000 off all new 25 Chevy Equinox EVs and Blazer EVs. You want to look tough and dependable? You need a Silverado. Truck month is here. The 25 Silverados, 11.5 off. The Tahoes, 12.5 off. Truck month is for a limited time. Get in and save today at the Fayetteville Auto Park with Chevy of Fayetteville. Bart, what do we have? We got requests about people
we
that
got
are
all
on the
sorts of
bubble,
stuff.
getting off. Give me the action that's happened over the last 24 hours with the NCAA tournament bids.
So basically, Arkansas is in, like locked up. I mean, we said this prior to the SEC
Nothing
tournament.
they could do. They could like go home today. Like you just say, you know
They
what,
are
tap out. We're done.
in. Like this will be a no sweat selection Sunday. The only thing you'll be wondering is where Arkansas will go. Here is the one thing to keep an eye on. If Arkansas is in that 9-10 seed range, that does bring the possibility of going to Wichita into play, I think, which would be great for Razorback fans because you'll have Houston playing in Wichita as a number 1 seed, likely to have Texas Tech playing in Wichita as a number 2 seed. And so if you're on that 10 or 9 line, could you end up getting paired with one of those teams in Wichita? So that's one thing to keep an eye out. Selection Sunday could be really nice for Razorback fans. The SEC is going to have 13 teams in the NCAA tournament in all likelihood, I think. I think Oklahoma has played their way in now. Texas is very much still alive for the NCAA tournament, I think, but they have to win. And there's no combination of them losing with anything else happening that gets them into the field. They have to go out and win some games starting today against Texas A&M. That would be a big feather in their cap, and that might be a win that would vault them to one of the last 4 teams in the field. So 14 teams, we talked about a couple weeks ago. They've got maybe 13, 14 right now. It's probably going to end up more like 11 or 12. 14 is still very much in play for this league, and it's because of what's happening elsewhere in the country. Teams are losing. Ohio State lost in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. They're probably out. So that leaves some room for like a North Carolina or a Texas or a Xavier, somebody like that to jump in to one of those last 4 spots on the field.
Wow.
Did get a text from Jack in Oklahoma City. He asked for a couple of mid-majors that have earned an auto bid that are teams to watch out for when filling out your bracket starting Sunday. What?
Yeah, it's like the show within the show.
Early trips.
We got our own CBS Sports happening right here. Like
trying to give the people what
they
about
want. That Ernie Johnson TNT crew? Who's whatever they're doing? Whatever. We got Bart. Keep going.
So he asked for some mid-majors to keep an eye on. 2 that have already clinched their spot in the tournament. Drake is a really, really good team.
Look at Edward over there nodding his head like he's on the
I've
Drake
been saying
wagon.
it for weeks to Bart.
Wow. What about Kendrick Lamar?
Drake's
is he in?
my team.
No.
Not that Drake.
Different Drake. Different Drake. This is the Drake that everybody can get behind. This is
well, never mind.
This is a
A minor.
this is a Drake team. Unfortunately for Drake, they're probably going to be like a 9 or a 10 seed, which just absolutely sucks for them. Because then you're going up against a 1 seed or a 2 seed in the second round. Like, this is a team that traditionally would be in that like 11 or 12, 13 seed range that would possibly make a bracket busting run. McNeese, another team to keep an eye on. Will Wade's group. Everybody kind of picked them as a tournament darling last year. They fell flat on their face and lost by like 30 to Gonzaga. I'm not super bought in on them yet, but they are a team everybody's watching. A couple more haven't clinched spots yet. UC San Diego, if they get in the field, they're a really good team. VCU has a chance to maybe go on a run, and I would keep an eye on any team that comes out of the Mountain West. That's been a really good league this year. New Mexico, Utah State. If Boise State gets in,
all right.
So there you go.
That was half of college basketball.
We're geeking out now.
Well, I mean, everything you wanted to know and some things you didn't. By the way, real quick, we got to hit a break. We'll come back and get to some reaction, and we got so much to get into. But Will Wade is about to be back in major college basketball. And I don't know if it'll be in the SEC. I don't know if Greg Sankey's given anybody the blessing to hire Will Wade yet.
No, I don't think so.
But
I don't think so.
He's killing it.
I think that edict's still out there.
No, he is killing it at McNeese State.
He's going to go to NC State.
Yeah. I mean, he's about to be back in major college basketball. The guy can coach. 877-377-6963. Again, it's tax season. H&R Block's the spot for you. If you got a question or you need all of it filed, either way, they'll do it for you. H&R Block, find one around the corner. Committed to inspiring confidence at tax time and beyond. 647. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Randy
Chuck,
Milam
you got
in
me?
Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We got to ham and egg it on this show. You know, sometimes you're going to have it.
Sometimes you're the ham, sometimes you're the egg.
And, you know, sometimes I'm not going to have it.
What does that even mean? Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail.
Sometimes you're the windshield,
That's
sometimes
right.
you're the bug.
That's right.
The Chuck All right, glad you're back. Sorry, I was early there. And let me talk to you about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, before we go on. I thought my timing was perfect, but it was not.
It sounded
hey, if you're buying,
good, though. I liked it.
Well, I know. If you're going to be wrong, be confidently wrong. Hey, if you're buying or selling a home, I want to recommend Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, to you. And I say that because of, a lifetime relationship. And the thing about these guys is when you partner with them, whether you're a buyer or a seller, there's a pretty good chance it's going to become a lifetime relationship for you, too. I think anyone that does business with Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, they come to that conclusion because basically they take care of you. I mean, that's the bottom line. If it's the first time out, you're going to be amazed at what they can do. You're going to be amazed at all the things that go on in buying a home that you weren't really aware of. The good news for you is they are. They're aware of all of them. If you've done it before, you know the ins and outs to an extent, but it sure is nice to have a professional realtor on your side of the table when situations arise, because inevitably that is what happens. And the thing about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, is whatever occurs, they get you from contract to close. That's what they do. It's why they've been turning houses into homes since 1978. They've got a wide selection of homes, and you can check it out at WeichertGriffin.com.
That's Chuck Barrett, voice of the Razorbacks, on the call for the Hogs win yesterday.
This time they need to throw it end-to-end. Brazil intercepts the pass, and the ball game is over. The Razorbacks survive and advance. They defeat South Carolina 72-68 in the opening round of the conference tournament. And everybody wearing Cardinal and white can let out a big sigh of relief.
There you go. There it is. That one's over, and the Hogs are in the NCAA tournament. Today it's Ole Miss. Noon all over again. By the way, your screen looks great now, Chuck. I don't know what you did, but it looks.
Well, I changed devices. I'm electronically challenged today, more so than most days.
Really?
But
well, you look great.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that.
Well, I've got a power outlet issue.
I've
got a power outlet issue. Not enough of them have power. It's an older hotel. It's not situated the way I like, and it's frustrating me.
All right, that rant is coming up.
We have to call the front desk.
We can only
I'm gonna
hope
call
that
the front
rant
desk.
is coming up next hour. You can get in here. We'll get ready for this game today at noon, as we have plenty to react to coming off the win yesterday. One that looked like an easy one that turned out to be a hard one. Chuck and Bo Show, almost 7 o'clock.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry. It's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge. Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. The high this afternoon, upper 70s to near 80. We will see an increase in the cloud cover overnight. We drop down into the mid-50s. We could see an outbreak of severe weather later Friday into Friday night. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your custom or buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Hey, let me tell you something. Years ago, I backed into a neighbor's truck. The truck was like about 25 years old, and there was minimal damage. And he was like 80. And I thought I was going to have to fight him out there in the street. He was so mad at me for backing. I'm like, dude, it's an accident. I'm still a little bitter about that.
Well, I mean, as you should be.
Yeah.
You know, no good deed goes unpunished.
20 years, I'm still mad.
Like 20 years?
Yeah.
Is he still with us?
I doubt it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
Do you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey.
Enjoy this treat from Starbucks.
Really? What do you have there? You've got honey and all that stuff in there to cure your illness and all that stuff, make you well. Sound good.
Yeah.
Got a little toddy working in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bo's getting better. Bo is battling.
Yeah.
And I feel for you this week.
Just allergies.
Because I understand how that is. It's you have to fight through these sorts of things. And it's terrible because you've got to get up and you've got to speak to the masses.
Yeah.
Because they hang on your every word.
I know.
And so therefore you can't disappoint. You got to come in. You got to get it out.
You know how I know that's true is the number of negative things that get said to you if you say something wrong. You know, it's hanging on every word.
People remember those things.
It's like Cal. Like Cal's such a lightning rod, isn't he? These
it was amazing. I mean,
something.
Arkansas yesterday, they're up by 17. I saw Jeff Goodman. All these guys are here. They're all here in Nashville for the tournament. Now, they don't ask questions in the post-game press conference. They kind of lurk around, peer in from behind the curtain.
Come on, bring it. I love it.
And they're assassins.
Yeah.
I mean, they're snipers. They're out in the jungle. You don't know where they are. But all of a sudden, bang. They're on the attack. Well,
so true.
I'm being a little silly there, but you know where I'm coming from. Yesterday, Arkansas builds a 17-point lead. These guys are like dying inside. They came to Nashville, at least in part, to take some shots at Cal while they were here. Arkansas's up 17. They can't do that. Then South Carolina makes a furious rally. They're going to be saved. South Carolina's going to come back and win the game. It's going to be glorious. They're going to be able to rip Cal for 24 hours. The Kentucky fans are going to have the best night of their lives. And but then Arkansas finds a way to win the game. But he gives them a little nugget at the end when Nelly apparently tried to miss that free throw and banked it in. And, that gave him a little nugget to jump on Cal about after the game. But I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to today. They're playing at noon against Ole Miss. Kentucky plays later tonight, I think. The Kentucky fans started pouring in yesterday afternoon late. And they're all going to be at the game. The Kentucky fans go to every game. I'll give them that. They don't just go to their games when they come to this tournament. They go to every game. And they pick a team to root for. And it's not going to be Arkansas today. And they're going to be on Cal. They're going to be on Cal from the minute he walks in the arena today. And these national guys are going to be right there front and center, chronicling all of it. And it's one of the reasons I really would like Arkansas to win today. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, it's so easy to see the guys who like and don't like Cal.
Oh, you can spot them a mile away.
Sort of down the middle, like I think you should be. I remember when Cal came here, the day he walked in, this is before he had his opening press conference, in front of a large crowd and an excited crowd at Bud Walton. And we were set up in the locker room to do a hog pod. Like, here's your new coach, John Calipari. That would be released the next day or whatever. And I remember showing him all the things that people had said about him coming here. And I set it up by saying basically that this is what Arkansas gets sometimes. Like, we're never good enough. That's just Arkansas, a little old Arky. All these things that people say about us. And now you're a part of that. They're saying that a little bit about you. And so it was like a minute long, and about 40 seconds in, he goes, I've seen enough. Like, turn that off. Now, it was all the kind of critical things that people were saying about him and Arkansas and this marriage and whatever. And he then came up to me. Like, so we did the hog pod, and about 10 minutes later, he's doing all these other things. Like, in the locker room, he's having to record all these things, like a message to students and to the Razorback Foundation and these types of things. And he comes back over to me, and he goes, it was still on his mind. He's like, all that stuff right there that you just played for me, all those people that said that, he goes, I don't think that has anything to do with Arkansas. He goes, that's got to do with me and maybe me not giving these guys as much access as they would have liked to have over the years. He said, that's about me. That's about people that don't like me. And you can see it with, go ahead, what you got?
John Calipari to Arkansas. When I read it this morning, I wondered if it was April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Why would I leave Kentucky at $8.5 million to go to Arkansas?
Takes over a program that finished third to last in the SEC. So, as you said, the bar is low there for Coach Cal to make a difference. Thanks, Keith.
I don't need any more of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
okay. So, but this is
that's from the interview. I ever just pulled
That's
that.
awesome.
That's from
in a couple years.
See what they're saying in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But you can spot it with all of these guys that just pounce on everything. And that moment at the end of the game was irrelevant. And here's why. Like, if you want to pick on Cal about something from yesterday's game, you know what the real analysts would pick on? Call a timeout at some point during the 12-minute drought. Like, it went all the way down to, 40 seconds before the under 4 mark before he called a timeout. And at some point in there, maybe you call a timeout, you try to get one open look. that just kind of stops the bleeding a little bit. That's basketball analysis. That's basketball commentary. Not what hypothetically would have happened in 2 seconds after the ball comes off the rim and the possibility of South Carolina heaving a three-quarter court shot to tie you. Like, what? You're just looking for something stupid so you can call them stupid. What is this deal? I don't understand, the deal about trying to prove that he's dumb or he can't coach or he's irrational or he's silly. Like what is it?
I've got a theory. He will not acknowledge these people. It's like with you. He doesn't want to see it. He doesn't care about it. He views those people as irrelevant. They are not part of his process. They are not part of coaching his team. He does not care what his critics think. I don't believe I've ever met a public figure who cares less about what his critics think than John Calipari. And I say that admiringly.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a boss move. I love it. And I enjoy it, frankly. These guys keep doing it, Bo, because they believe they're going to be the one that hits the nerve. They're going to be the one that says something that Cal responds to. I've never heard him utter Jeff Goodman's name. I've never heard him utter the name of any single person out there. He uses terms like they. Those are people that had an agenda against me. He doesn't acknowledge them. They're all hoping they will be the one that hits the mark, and Cal's just got to respond to them. But it's never going to happen. These guys will die before they get a rise out of Cal, and it just drives them nuts. I love watching it. I'm not gonna. I love watching it.
It's right in your wheelhouse.
Oh, it is.
877-377-6963. Do we have? Is the reporter's question on this clip yesterday about caring about the SEC tournament, or do we need to set this up?
We need to set it up.
Okay, so a reporter asked Cal about basically clarifying his comments about not caring, or the SEC tournament not meaning anything, and of course he misquoted Cal when he said it. But here's what transpired after.
Every tournament we go in, we're doing it for one reason. We want to win games to build up our seed. Now, along the way, for a guy that does not care about conference tournaments, so if you don't care, the kids don't care, no one cares, then I'm a magician. So how about maybe you're taking the pressure off the kids, that this is just another thing for us to get better and improve ourselves. And then along the way, you know what? You're reaching for stars, you grab a moon, and all of a sudden you're standing there with the trophy. So, yeah, it matters. We got to play. Now, there was another coach in this league that said, I'm not sure I really want this tournament because last year we got a guy hurt in it. I'm not sure how I feel. You're going to ask him that same question, aren't you? And his team was one of the best teams in this league because he's saying, we got a chance to win the national title. This league has been a meat grinder. Is it going to be any different here? No. We want to win every game we play. But I don't need the kids, we got to do this. You don't. There's the next tournament. And then you win it anyway. It'd be nice to win it again. I don't know exactly how many of those we've won. How many? I know somebody told me 87 tournament games for a guy that doesn't care. And I think it's about almost 80% win. For a guy that doesn't care, there should be a lot of guys not caring.
What is he, 60 and 18 in conference tournament games now, 59 and 18. It's staggering how many games he's won. And it's like we were saying the other day. I mean, and it's like he just said there, go play carefree. We're in. Go play. Have fun.
Oh, man. It's like he's wanting to say, go back and enjoy your miserable, awful life.
That's right.
You're clearly unhappy and miserable. And I wish you weren't. I don't want anybody to be like that. But just don't try to bring me into your miserable life. You can come and enjoy this ride and this fun we're having, and you're not going to rob me of my joy, of my excitement.
Well,
of my
and not
journey.
just that. Just from a competitive standpoint, the other side, the opponents, they've gotten some shots in this year. I hope they enjoyed it. because it's not going to happen very much moving forward. We're beginning to see what this is going to be like, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But Arkansas is going to get a lot better too.
Need some of these guys to get on the sweat and edge. Maybe they'd have a little bit better attitude. Like grumpy, just always trying to snipe and take somebody down, take somebody out, take Cal down, let the air out of the balloon. Don't be that guy. Be a guy that brings the energy to the room. When you walk in, everything kind of picks up because you've got it back. You're not dragging anymore. That's the Sweatnum Edge. That's what it can do for you. Go to SweatnumCosmetic.com. Click on the Sweatnum Edge. They'll give you a free evaluation. You'll get some lab work done, and then you can evaluate where your levels are, testosterone and otherwise. Maybe it's just supplements you need. But it matters. Like when it comes to your levels being right, it makes a huge difference. And you don't have to drag around and think, man, I'm just older and I've got to put up with this, and it's just part of getting old. A lot of that is just something that wears out and you lose over time that you can actually get back and feel better. SweatnumCosmetic.com. Click on the Sweatnum Edge. Some of your thoughts when we come back. It's 7:15. 7:15 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Touching the hearts of Arkansans. The passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Let's have fun!
The madness is here, and it's time to get your exclusive pass with Cal and the Razorbacks. Only with Hogs Plus, the Netflix for Razorback fans.
We just got to refuse to lose.
Documentaries, films, interviews, and everything behind the scenes.
Like it was Hollywood.
And me!
Take your fandom to the next level, only at hogsplus.com. Enter promo code MM25 for a 25% discount on a yearly membership.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Have you ever won a raffle? Anybody here won a raffle?
Dang right I have.
Have you really?
Yeah,
What'd you win?
Like a small screen TV or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're just a winner. I mean, Bo's a winner.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block's easy. Get it done. Get ahead of the game here. You're really not ahead if you start now, but you can still get it done on time. You walk in or make an appointment, they're going to hook you up at H&R Block. Get in, get it done. File with confidence. Rod's in Fort Smith. Chuck's in Nashville, fresh off a Razorback victory. They play Ole Miss today at noon in the second round of the SEC tournament. Rod, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. I've been following Coach Calipari's career for, Memphis. For a long time. And he's always managed to somehow pull it out, prove he's right. These people paid him for that, and they can't wait to prove him wrong. And he's like a master at mind games. And, I would rather them hate us because he's here. And, a couple of national championships, they can hate me all they want. And, they're never gonna get the better of him, I don't think.
Yeah, another thing about the free throw, Chuck, that we haven't talked about yet is just saw a text. And thanks for your call, Rod. It is nice to feel like you are part of a winner and being disliked because you're part of that. And this is early in Cal's tenure at Arkansas, and we'll see how it goes. But as I've said on the show, we think this will be Cal's worst year here, year one, and expect it to only get better from here. But we got a text, and somebody made a point yesterday on social media. Did anybody consider that Nelly did that on his own, that free throw situation, and Cal was just covering for him? I'm not saying it did or didn't happen. I don't even think it's that relevant on whether you decide to miss or make it there, because I think it's virtually impossible for South Carolina to win the game at that point. But it's what people focused on, and they wanted to make fun of Cal and his answers about it and all that. When there were other things, if you wanted to be critical, you could, that were more warranted, I felt. But did anybody even consider that maybe Nelly just did that on his own? Like, in all that criticism? Anybody even ask that question?
I saw a couple of people suggest that. I honestly don't know. I'm going to be truthful with you. That was not what I was thinking about. After the game was over, maybe it should have been, because obviously a lot of other people were. Right. And I got some texts about it, and I'm sure others did too.
It's low-hanging fruit at the end of the game, but
it
doesn't change the game. Like like there's nothing that happens there outside of a miracle that changes the game.
I'm going to tell you how I view games, not just tournament games, but every game. Did we win? Did we lose? That's how I view it, pure and simple. And what time are we getting home? That's the way I look at it. I don't. Maybe I should. Maybe that's a fault of mine. But I don't go back and overanalyze a lot of things. Either you win or you lose.
It's a great point. It's a great point because you forget all the other things that happen in a game. Like you pick one thing and you forget the other thing. Like I picked today that Arkansas went on basically a 12-minute scoring drought. I didn't pick the fact that they went on a big enough run at the end of the first half to withstand that.
Right.
And to your point, it's like winners win and losers tell you all the reasons why they could have, or how close they were, or how it almost happened. And winners don't sit around and talk about how they could have almost lost.
things are going to go haywire at some point during a game. I mean, you've got 40 minutes of timed action, and you're there in real time for over 2 hours. To think it's going to be a smooth ride against a team that's got guys on NIL too, guys that are making a lot of money too, guys that people wanted to come play for them. When you're playing a team like that, which you do most nights, and you spend 2.5 hours out there on the floor, there are going to be points where they get the best of you. And if it's a good team, there may be points where they make you look bad. But there were plenty of points yesterday where Arkansas made South Carolina look bad. You said it a minute ago, Bo. If there's not a 17-point halftime lead, that run Carolina goes on is fatal. But because there was a 17-point lead, because during the point in the game where it wasn't going haywire, they clicked on all cylinders, they were able to withstand the point where, things look like they might fall apart. Look at college basketball. Look at the games that are being played. This is common. Teams go through periods where they absolutely cannot do anything right. I watched for a little while. I went to sleep before it was over, but I watched USC play Rutgers for a little while last night. Rutgers had them beat. USC ended up winning in double overtime. The games have an ebb and a flow to them. Where are you when it's over? Did you win? Did you lose? That's really all that matters.
Charlie's in Camden. Hey, Charlie, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. What's happening?
Hey, guys, I love what you guys are talking about. I put so much about what you said, Bo. I think at the end of the day, people hate winners. Or they find a way to, if they can't, I'm just being real.
You're right.
If you think about Tom Brady, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, there's always going to be people out there, and I'm not trying to compare Cal to him, but the aura and he's always been great. And look, I didn't necessarily like Nick Saban, I didn't like Calipari, but I respected them and what they have always accomplished and where they were. The same with Coach K. I mean, you cannot knock greatness, regardless if you don't like them or whatever. I mean, I don't understand some of it. I think some of it's ridiculous. At the end of the day, fine, hate us now. We got a great coach, and we'll take it. I like to be hated. Throw some more haters at me down here in Camden. Throw some more haters at the Hogs. We've been waiting on this. We love this. And another thing, exactly, Chuck, at this time of the year, and I'm not just saying the SEC tournament, I mean the tournament in general, you got to win. I mean, I don't care what the score is. I don't care if the score is 52-51. If you win, you advance, and that's all that really matters. And another thing I want to say, because I'm on a rant here, South Carolina, for the record, I actually agree with Calipari. If they were in any other conference, these guys would probably be pretty good. Because think about how many close games they lost this year. Now, I know they gave Arkansas, they kicked their butts. Arkansas had it bad that day. But if you look at South Carolina's results throughout the year, these guys got some ball players. They got a kid on their team that may go in the first or early second round. They don't stink. They just played in the best conference ever. I mean, and so it just is what it is. And anyways, guys, I'm sorry that I'm ranting. I'm just like, you know what? Fine. Hate us. We'll take it. Guys, Chuck, what's your thought about today? Because before I go, is it, I'm kind of like, it doesn't help us one way or another, but, it would be cool to see them win one more. I just hate that if we do today, we got to turn around and play Auburn tomorrow. Ooh, that's not going to make me sleep well. But anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie.
Well, the one thing you've got to think about, and the reality now is you're playing from now on, at least today and tomorrow, if you survive today, you're playing a team that's not played yet. They're going to be a little more rested than you are. By the same token, they don't have the momentum of having won a ball game the day before, the way you do. There's something about a tournament, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball. I can't really describe it, but strange things happen during tournaments. And part of it is, you leave the arena, you head right back to the hotel. There's a sense of urgency. You don't even go to your room. The players don't even go to their rooms. They stop by, get some food, and there's film on the next game. And you're just immersed in basketball. Or if it's a baseball tournament in May, you're immersed in that. And, again, it's hard for me to describe in words, but momentum is a powerful thing. And all 4 teams that won yesterday, including Arkansas, think they're going to win this tournament now. And everybody that wins today thinks they're going to win the tournament. And one of them might. Who knows? I suspect it's going to be one of the top 4 seeds winning this tournament. But let's go play today and see what happens. And if you're around tomorrow, give it all you got.
Hey, you can play today at Blakeman's. Go get you a latte, cup of coffee. Check out that 8,500-foot newly renovated store they've got. An expanded selection of breathtaking jewelry. This is a great date, I'm telling you. Like, just take your wife, your girlfriend,
It's
your
National
husband, your
Jewel Day,
boyfriend.
too.
It's what?
National Jewel Day.
So today is the day. You can go by there. You can talk about the Hogs. They love the Hogs. They're the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Expert service tailored just for you. A private room designed for comfort and exclusivity. There's just nothing like it in our area. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers. Check it out. Clay Henry's joining us next. We'll continue breaking down the SEC tournament, taking your calls. How's Big Z? We'll get an update. What do we know about Big Z? Is he all right? Is his thumb okay? What do we know? And by the way, Thiero and Fland will not play in this tournament. If you've missed that, Cal made that clear earlier this week. 7:30. Good morning on the Chuck and Bo Show. Like, I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line podcast network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials.
We do have awesome lunch specials Monday through Friday. We've got any small pizza for $7.99. You can also order a salad with it. Great In-N-Out special for a quick lunch.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York High Efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Oh man, I got revved up.
I know you did. Both of you did.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get revved up on something different than
you
that
guys
segment.
got so fired up, I started sweating. And I wasn't doing anything in that segment.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Chuck, before we get Clay in here, Bart was just telling me a moment ago that this is now 20 wins for Arkansas. So 5 of the last 6 seasons, Arkansas has won 20 games or more. And that hasn't happened in that kind of a run over 6 years since the mid-'90s when Nolan was coach. And it's happened 13 times since the year 2000. So almost, half of those 13 have been in the last, 6 years, which just gives you some perspective. There was a rough run for Arkansas basketball for a while. And to have Musk come in, do what he did, and have a tough year last year, and then decide to leave, and then Cal come in and win 20 games, get Arkansas back in the tournament. It's been a better era for Arkansas basketball lately.
Hey, Musk came in right at the beginning. Now, this was before NIL, but during the time of the portal. And, he rejuvenated the program, and he did it in a way that we'd not seen done around here before, the way he used the portal. He was the portal king. A lot of this credit goes to him, and certainly Cal this year, because, again, I keep going back, and I know we're going to move on here, but they were 0-5, and Boogie went out that 5th game. And I know I had them. I had people say to me, and I wondered myself, I had people say to me, they're not going to win a game. I wondered myself, I'll be honest, I wondered if they would win a game. And here we are. As it turns out, they've played 19 SEC games counting yesterday, and they've won 9 of them. I didn't imagine that when they were 0-5.
Clay Henry joining us. Clay, what were your thoughts on watching Arkansas win the game yesterday and really the overall kind of season it's been?
I kind of reflected back. Thanks, guys. I reflected back to the LSU game because I thought that was, I'm talking about the one in Baton Rouge. When I saw how they played that game, I was like, well, who can they beat? It's just like, because you knew that team wasn't very good, and that team had some players out at the time. And you're just like, well, okay, well, if this is the level that they're going to play at, what is it? Because the SEC at that time, the teams were like, I don't know, 80-3 or so. I don't know. It was something incredible. That's probably not the right number. But everybody was undefeated or had one loss, and you thought, well, Oklahoma's good, Texas is good. I watched more basketball in December of non-conference SEC games, like Duke, Auburn, Kentucky, Clemson, Oklahoma. Maybe Oklahoma played Michigan too. I can't remember the games that I was watching. Watched Texas a couple of times. Watched Auburn. Watched Florida. Was impressed and said, well, Georgia's better. And I thought Mississippi State was terrific. Now they didn't have the season that I thought they would have. But that I don't think I thought they were going to go 0-18, but I thought, well, they'll win at South Carolina. They didn't win at South Carolina. Not only that, but they played so poorly. I mean, they get a lead against somebody, and then just they just give up the lead almost immediately. Like give up a big scoring run. But here's what I saw happening. He was fixing things. I was fixing things. Defense wasn't very good. They kind of just went through the non-conference with bad defense, just with a little bit of scoring, or maybe some risk taking. They'd get a steal, but they were giving up shots at the rim over and over, drives, back doors, pick and roll, not covering the three, going under screens, and you could just see him, game by game fixing things. And the LSU game was a perfect example of that. Boogie kind of went off the last 5 minutes. It gave him a chance. But their freshmen like Knox and Richmond were just, they weren't playing very well defensively. They were getting lost and getting picked or going the wrong way on pick and rolls. And you couldn't come back. Or they were fouling. And gave up a lot of free throws in that game. Anyway, Cal's done that before, where he just gradually take these young teams with these elite players, and just gradually, one by one, coach them and get them right.
Clay, what are your thoughts on just where they're going to go from here? But by the way, I mentioned Big Z. Look, that didn't look great yesterday on a shooting hand, his thumb. I don't know how that gets better. I don't know that it's bad, but it's not ideal. Chuck, you any thoughts on that? The only thing I was glad he stepped up and made those free throws, and I know that was impressive because it's going to hurt to shoot him. I mean, he was in pain, but he just mentally he hit him, and I mean, gosh, they had to have him. A point here or there was just huge. There just weren't any. Let me talk about the game for just a minute, and I'll answer your question about where I think they'll go. That game was called weird, and I watched 3 more games after that, and none of them were called like that. And if Larry Davis had played in any of the other 3 games, he'd have scored 25 points and shot 20 free throws. They knocked him around. They had his jersey every time he went around the screen. The headsman just whacked him. I mean, just hit him with his chest and knocked him off balance. He went through the lane with the ball a couple of times. He got hit from one side to the other side by different players. The goal 10 basket interference that they wiped off, that Brazil put in, and it was a good call. But if they showed it slow motion, and you could see Murray goes up for the shot, that was missed, and the guy had his wrist. I mean, he had a clamp on his wrist, and the ball comes shooting out of his hand. That's why he didn't make it. But Owen Short and those guys had a bad game. South Carolina decided down 20, we're just going to attack them. We're going to physically assault them on that side of the court. And they didn't call anything. And,
It's incredible that they won the game with how it was called. And then the next game, when they called free throws, I mean, if you it looked like you were going to touch somebody as a free throw, and both teams shot free throws, and the game took forever. I'm sure that's what they didn't want to happen, but I'm sure somebody said, "Hey, we can't have a game play like that again, where a team just gets beat up and mugged like that." Now, where they can go, but South Carolina's worst matchup they could have. I mean, physically, they're inside guys. I don't know how many players are like that. In South Carolina, we finish in the top half of every league except the SEC. So you can't cross that off as well. They couldn't handle a last place team, but they're prepared for any style. They're prepared for anything that happens. They're not going to be scared. They've come back from the abyss. They want to play in the tournament. Now, I'm not saying they're a great team, but they have some elite pieces, and they're hungry. And some of these guys seem like they're better every time they play. So I think, maybe they get to the second weekend, and then they're going to start to play teams that are really good. And, there's so many SEC teams in there, you're going to have to play SEC teams. Everybody says, oh, good, they're out of the conference. No, there's going to be 12 or 13 SEC teams scattered through. So if you win a couple of games, you'll definitely play an SEC team, and, they'll be a good team.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I got to manage time here, Chuck. I want to take a quick break and bring Clay back, and then we'll get your thoughts. I want to get just a couple of thoughts from Clay on spring football, too. Back in a minute, the Chuck and Bo Show. Glad you're here. Good morning.
When you went into the Hall of Fame, I think it was at a Western Sizzler.
I think it was. It was at a motel. It wasn't a hotel. It was a motel.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
It's not just the flavors that keep you coming back to the House of Webster. It's a tradition. For over 90 years, our family-owned company has been making jams, jellies, salsas, barbecue sauce, and many more treats that make your meals come to life. From the first jar to the last spoonful, you'll taste the quality in every bite. Please visit our gift shop located at 1013 North 2nd Street, downtown Rogers. We want you to sample the great taste of life. Visit us at houseofwebster.com. House of Webster. See you soon.
Delicious jams and jellies. It's your favorite time of year, March Madness, and the #1 place to get all your alcohol this basketball postseason is Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Located at 9390 Rogers Avenue, Eastside Liquor has everything you need. Dave Bushko and his team have all your beer, seltzers, wine, liquor, and more. Eastside Liquor, they always come up clutch in the postseason.
Arkansas wins the national championship.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I've known you for 25 years. I've never seen you hug anybody.
Well, I am a hugger, but just not in this room. Just not here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
7:51 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Clay Henry's with us. Clay, we began the program, began the show in the 6 o'clock hour, noting the passing of Oliver Miller at the age of 54, and just your thoughts, your memories, and your reaction to this.
Yeah, first you have to say a great spirit, just a wonderful human being that had a spirit. Always was up. Never saw Oliver when he seemed frustrated or didn't like the situation he was in, and no pouting or whatever, and bad call. He didn't. Nothing bothered him out there on the court just because of that positive spirit. And he was surrounded by great teammates. We all know that. We could spend hours and hours on the guys he played with. I kind of cut my teeth covering Lee Mayberry in Tulsa World, and was still there working when that great team, was just kind of going off. And so when the locker room would be open, I'd kind of gravitate to Lee because that's what I wanted to be that focused. But I always wanted to go over and get a quote from Oliver, because it would be something unusual. He would have a perspective, like Shaq is. I think he told me one time, Shaq's a little man. And I was like, I said, "You're kidding?" He said, "Well, in comparison to me, he is." So it's like, okay, yeah. And he said one time, Shaq slow of foot.
That's funny.
And, well, compared to Oliver, I mean, that's the one thing Oliver had was great feet, the quickness. I mean, he was big and sometimes too big. You know, he could gain weight, and but his feet were always quick. I mean, he could move into position and he could outmaneuver everyone out there. And he was such a great passer. I know y'all probably talked about that. And clever passes, unbelievably strong arm. I mean, he could whip it from, take the ball out of the basket on a made basket and whip it to Lee the other direction or Bowers. And I was like, some of them, I'm down
Always on target. Always on target.
Yeah, I was thinking he might hurt somebody. It was it's going so fast. It was kind of like a Ryan Mallett fastball. Boom, just the other end. But I got one story. I know we want to talk some football.
Well, we don't have to if we don't get to it. It's okay. We got more time to do that later.
Yeah. So, you could get autographs after the game. Barnhill, the locker room was right there on the floor. A million kids would be there. And, it might take you 15 minutes to get through the autograph line. Well, one time, O comes out of there, and everybody wanted O. I mean, Todd Day signed autographs, but I think O signed more. And he came out of there with a rubber ink pad and a one-letter stamp, O. And he was stamping O on everything, hat, and he would just, he got through the crowd. Everybody got a red O stamped on. He was stamping arms. He was stamping, I'm not going to say the word, but, female parts.
That's only Clay can say it.
He did that 2 games and then Nolan started.
I'm not going to say it.
Can't be rubber stamped and stuff. You're going to have to sign your name.
That's good stuff, Clay. It's a great. I can't believe the word that you chose not to say is boobs on the air. Of all the things you said on the air, that was out of bounds. Oh, what a great memory of Big O. What a great. Thanks so much, Clay.
I've been told.
Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas. That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes,
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads.
That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. The high this afternoon, upper 70s to near 80. We will see an increase in the cloud cover overnight. We drop down into the mid-50s. We could see an outbreak of severe weather later Friday into Friday night. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime?
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha. Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs. Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm a fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Decisions aren't hard when no matter what you choose, you win. Like with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 Classic box with iconic favorites like a beefy 5-layer burrito, the $7 Supreme box with the Chicken Chalupa Supreme, and more. Or find new obsessions in the $9 Discovery box. Get yours at Taco Bell today. Participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Chuck's headset is so loud, he was in there getting coffee, and Bart, who's sitting 10 feet away, can hear everything that's coming over his headset. It's like the guy who's in a restaurant or sitting maybe at the bar having a conversation on his phone, and you can hear everything the other person's saying from the other side of the restaurant. Who are the people that go to Walmart and are on FaceTime? It's like an average conversation.
They're passing time.
Yeah, they're just going through life, and they happen to be on aisle 3.
That's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Tax season's here. Got to get ready for it. H&R Block can do it for you with 70 years of tax prep expertise going to work for you so you can file with confidence. Get to an H&R Block. Chuck's in Nashville. Got another game today. Boy, Chuck, I walked out to my vehicle this morning to come into the studio, and I was like, dang, it's not Sunday. It's Thursday. Because we're not ready to play a noon game on a weekday. That's where we are. That's March.
I've struggled all week long to remember what day it was. I mean, one day, Monday, we're traveling, we get here, you're in a city, and it's like, wow, this feels like Thursday or Friday. It's like, no, it's Monday. Got a whole week ahead of you. And, gosh, here we are to Thursday. And we'll see what happens. Win today, stay tomorrow. Lose today, come home.
Zach Gillum's the director of sports betting at Oaklawn Sports. Let's talk some of this with him as the Hogs come off a victory yesterday. And Zach, Bart was really paying attention to that Oaklawn Sports app during the game. And he was happy that Arkansas won, but didn't really go his way on the cover at the end. It's funny how people root for games when they've got money invested, we'll say. But, Zach, today it's on to the next one. What's this look like with Ole Miss? What's the line, and what are we looking at today?
Yeah, I'm sure Bart was sweating. It was a lot of fun yesterday, at least the first half. I don't know, the second half, I'm glad it ended, and we were on top.
He was buying everybody drinks at that point.
Today, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it was. In fact, I was getting a little superstitious. The first half I watched in one location, the second half a different location, and late in the second half I had to get up and move. I'll just put it that way.
There you go.
But today the line very similar to yesterday. Yesterday, 4.5, except this time Arkansas is the underdog. So today at noon taking on Ole Miss. Ole Miss minus 4.5 in that matchup. Total right now at 144.
That's moved, right? It's gone Ole Miss's way since the line came out. Is that right?
That has.
Yeah.
Yes, that has moved. It was 3.5 yesterday. It moved to 4.5 overnight.
So there's some movement there. Will you have prop bets with this game?
There likely will be, but you're going to need to be checking. We only have about 4 hours till tip, a little less than 4 hours till tip. With it being an early game, you're not going to have a lot of time to get the action in, but yes, I do expect to see player props post for this game.
All right. SEC versus the field is an interesting Oaklawn bet moving forward into the NCAA tournament. What it set this up for us? You can take an SEC team to win the NCAA tournament versus the field?
Yeah, so at this time, they're projecting anywhere from 12 to 13 SEC teams potentially getting in that field of 68. And at Oaklawn Sports, we are offering a two-way market. It's the SEC or the field. And so any SEC team that gets in is in the SEC side, and everyone else will be in the field. SEC right now plus 105, and the field minus 134.
Okay. Wow. Who you on, Chuck? You got the SEC to win it, or you got somebody else in the field to win it all?
I would take the SEC to win it. I think one of the SEC teams will win it.
What about the
between Auburn and Florida, Alabama, Tennessee,
Auburn
Kentucky.
and Florida.
Yep.
Hey, what's one out there on the NCAA tournament you could win a bundle on? I mean, something that something that could change my life, Zach. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, well, heck, Chuck, you don't even have to get to the tournament if you want to. If you think Arkansas is going to somehow pull this SEC tournament out, there's still 120 to 1 to do that.
There you go.
And then
all right,
if
now
you
we're talking. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Now we're getting in those long odds you're looking for. And then if you want to go to the full tournament, the dance, right now Arkansas is about 100 to 1 there. So either way, you're getting some pretty long odds. Another option we mentioned against the field, you can take Duke or Auburn. So Duke or Auburn.
That's an interesting
so it's almost
wager
what you
there.
want. Yeah, and that's plus 165. So you're getting even better odds in that SEC version. The field in that option is minus 250.
There you go, Chuck. I'll split it with you.
There we go. We're talking.
Then we'll take Bart to Blakeman's. All right, a couple other things that are on the Oaklawn Sports app now. There's been some movement. Razorback baseball is going to Oxford to begin SEC play this weekend. There's been some movement, Zach, on their odds to make it to Omaha, right?
Yes, there's been some movement on all of the Arkansas odds and a few of the other teams as well after the first few weeks of play. Looking to win it all, Arkansas is plus 550. They're the third choice. They're right behind LSU and Tennessee, who are both 5-1. And then to make it to Omaha, so that is the field of 8. Arkansas now minus 115. If you recall, just a week or two ago, they were plus 110. So the odds on that have shifted quite a bit. And then if you're looking at the SEC, which you mentioned we were getting underway this weekend, Arkansas plus 440 to win the regular season SEC.
All right, before we get you out of here, Zach Gillum's the director of sports betting at Oaklawn Sports. What are a couple of other things that you would advise taking a peek at if we want to get on that Oaklawn Sports app over the next few days?
Yeah, so there's a few other SEC games today I'm sure people are keen to look at. Texas A&M, a 6.5-point favorite over Texas. Missouri is a 3.5-point favorite over Mississippi State. And Kentucky, a 6.5-point favorite over Oklahoma. So that's the basketball. Obviously, a lot of other conference tournaments going on. All of that action available on Oaklawn Sports. But I'm big into some other sports as well. Golf, you have what some people call the fifth major underway, the Players' Championship. There are a lot of different options on how to wager for that. You're able to wager live even after the event starts, so the winner option is still there. It will be there until the end. Even if someone gets a big lead, we'll post it without the leader to still give you a way to wager on that. And then F1, if you're a race fan, F1 first race of the season is this weekend in Australia. That's going to be a lot of fun. Last year's season, we saw a lot of parity, multiple teams and drivers winning. This year, looking at this first race, Lando Norris from McLaren is your favorite. Max Verstappen, second choice as of now.
F1, if you've watched Drive to Survive, you can get into that in a sneaky way. It kind of sneaks up on you.
Hey, that's what got me. I'll be honest. It was about 5 years ago. I watched one of those seasons. I've been hooked ever since.
Hey, you got College Week coming up at the racetrack?
Yes, in College Week. Thank you for bringing that up. Anyone listening, highly recommend you make your plans if you don't have them next Saturday, March 22nd. That is at Oaklawn in Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's going to be College Student Day. We're going to be giving away many scholarships. There's some great prizes, Apple Watches, AirPods, iPads, MacBooks. It's $1,500 scholarships. There's gift cards that go along with that. All you have to do is bring your student ID and come join us March 22nd. All the details at oaklawn.com. And if you're a Pink Floyd fan, we got Floyd Nation that night, a Pink Floyd cover band as well.
I have this vision of Chuck getting busted at Oaklawn with a fake ID, trying to pretend to be a student so he can win another iPad or AirPod. Those are great gifts. Yeah. That'd be a good time. Hey, Zach, always appreciate it, man. Thanks for making time for us.
Thank you, Zach.
Yes, y'all have a great weekend.
You too. Enjoy the fun
you too.
at Oaklawn or at the Oaklawn Sports app. Director of Sports Betting at Oaklawn, Zach Gillum right there. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, do it in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. And new customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets, so you can bet with the brand you trust. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Boy, I was with Bart yesterday, man, and it's just like watching a game with Bart takes it to another level.
I'll bet it does.
It really does. It's just like
I generally watch the game just with people that have a rooting interest.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily have money on the game.
Yeah.
But I know for Bart that is rooting interest.
Right. But Bart goes like, as you hear on the show here, he gets so far into the weeds on stuff. At some point, I'm just like, it's whatever. Like if you won something, let me know. But like I don't care. Bart, we're at walk-ons. There's like 60-plus televisions, and there aren't enough TVs for Bart to have all the games on that he was interested in yesterday.
Hey, when Bart's at the bar breaking down games for just no one in particular,
yeah,
it's always fun.
Well, I was drawing up plays.
He'll have a reaction, and you don't have any idea what it's about. You know, like I thought we were watching the Razorback game together. You have no idea, like, what is Bart reacting to now? 877-377-6963. It's the Chuck and Bo Show, 8:12 on a Thursday. Hogs play at noon. Good morning.
I mean, I don't know if it's old or just like...
Well, the world's changing. It's like Bart said a little bit ago. When he summed it up with 2 words. I mean, things change.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
So I spent yesterday... You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
That's 782-8940. That's the only number you need to know for all of your heating and air, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs. That's 782-8940, the only number you need to know.
It's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. To have a red truck rolling your way today for great American-made York products, give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Where's my life gone? I don't understand anything that's happening. There's all this stuff going on around me, and I'm just completely clueless. And that's when I decided I'm going to go to bed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck, we're going to have to go back to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. We got to kind of get the lay of the land. Like, what did yesterday mean? Like, what did it set up? Yeah, what did it set up, and what are we watching today? What to Watch is brought to you by Macadoodles. Macadoodles brings Wine Down Wednesday every Wednesday, 15% off every bottle of wine in the entire store, even if it's already on sale. So you want to kind of like splurge a little bit. You got a big, fun dinner experience coming up. That's the place to get a huge selection of wine and 15% off every Wednesday. But they've got a great selection of everything, and their allocated section is second to none. You're going to find things at Macadoodles you just won't find anywhere else. All the best assortment of spirits, beer, and wine. But the best thing about Macadoodles, besides competitive pricing and their selection, is the customer service. They'll walk you around the store to find whatever it is you're looking for. Maybe a special recipe. You want to try something different. Maybe it's a holiday cocktail you want to try, or some sort of thing that's different for your get-together. When you're planning an event or you're getting together to watch something, there's nothing better, nothing quite like shopping at Macadoodles, just north of the state line, just north of Bella Vista, and at Guess Who in Bentonville. All right, Bart, what are we watching today?
Obviously, we got Arkansas and Ole Miss tipping off at noon on the SEC Network. But other really good games in the tournament today. Texas playing for their NCAA tournament lives. They have to win this game today against Texas A&M to have any sort of chance.
Is anybody rooting for that, by the way? Anybody rooting for Texas?
No,
like, do you want another SEC team in? Are we watching for that?
No, I don't want Texas.
Okay, so we're rooting against Texas.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
I mean,
we're
not
on the
really
same
rooting
page.
for A&M either, but, definitely against Texas. Mississippi State plays Missouri. That's at 6 o'clock. And then Oklahoma, who I think is in the field now, plays a game against Kentucky. That's the nightcap at 8. All those games on the SEC Network. 2 games to keep an eye on just from a bubble perspective. Indiana plays 23rd ranked Oregon. That's at 11 a.m. on the Big Ten Network. Little appetizer for the Razorback game. And then Xavier needs a win against number 25 Marquette. That game is at 1:30 streaming on Peacock. So there's a look at the games to watch today.
What to Watch brought to you by Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville. All right, Harrison, you're on the air via Nelson.
Hey, guys.
Tried it
Well,
differently that
this
time.
is what I want to say, guys. I mean, I got in late, starting with the show here, but seems like the narrative has been with the free throw thing that Cal is an idiot. And all of this, it's like, guys, come on. If he did tell him to miss a free throw, if he didn't tell him to miss a free throw, first of all, nobody was ready for them to intentionally try to miss a free throw. So everybody was off guard. Everybody in the whole arena was off guard in the world, except for those two. Whatever happened there. And then, if they got the rebound, well, they got a timeout. They can't advance the ball. So, I mean, they'd have to go down to half court, call the timeout. So there was, I mean, it wasn't as big a deal as people want to make it out to be. Now, what was the big deal?
We agree.
What the big deal was, though, is the simple fact that Trevor Brazile has totally changed his demeanor, the way he plays, and he was not going to lose that game. He was the one player on that court that was getting in the middle of everything, doing everything he could, and he was making a difference. The officiating had changed so much from the first half to the second half that it was like a totally different game. And the officials should never be that noticed, in my opinion. Now, guys, these guys are playing with house money now. So maybe we get Ole Miss. Maybe we beat Ole Miss. But we're in the tournament. We're playing with house money. I don't think that Cal's going to risk getting somebody hurt to win this tournament. But like he said, it would be nice to win another SEC tournament. And guys, as Hog fans, it's very easy because I told my buddy at halftime, he's up and down on the Hogs, and he's like, "Man, they're playing really good." I'm like, "Dude, I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx them." He said, "I don't believe in jinx." And then the second half, we come out and play like that, and things get dictated like that. I'm like, "Man, jinxes happen. There is a curse with Arkansas sports. There is somewhere.
It's real."
Yeah.
So, guys, this is what I want to say. It's kind of ridiculous that as a Hog, we're here with 9 wins now in the SEC, and people are still saying, well, Arkansas needs another win to get in the tournament. Oklahoma's got 6 wins in the SEC. Yeah, they beat Michigan. We beat Michigan. So, I mean, come on. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. There you go. That's everything you wanted to know right there, Chuck.
I agree with what he said about the house money part. I think that's the attitude you have today, and you, regardless of what happens, you're going to be in next week, and just go have a good time today.
Clay had a point about officiating too. Like he didn't think it was officiated the same as the other games in the day. I didn't think it was officiated the way it was in the first half, and I thought that contributed. And I don't blame the officials for Arkansas not scoring a point for nearly 12 minutes or a field goal. But I thought that the officiating played a role in some of that, and that it was definitely different. But go ahead.
I almost felt like I was watching the first of 4 Little League games that day, and the umpire said, "Hey, man, we got to stay on schedule here.
Yeah.
This first game needs to be quick."
Yeah.
I'm being a little facetious.
No, I mean,
there,
they were letting a lot of things go.
But I did think about one thing about this bigger picture, and we'll have time to discuss this as we get closer, but I wonder how the NCAA tournament is going to be called as opposed to the way it's been called in the SEC. It is a physical conference, and they let you just beat the heck out of each other. And will it be called that way when we get to the big dance? I don't know the answer to that. I think that's something to watch for. It's also a discussion for another day, I know. But there were points, particularly when South Carolina was making their run. I mean, they just let them assault Arkansas. And there were points when Arkansas was making their run that they just let them assault South Carolina. And that's just kind of how it works sometimes.
Let's take a call before we hit the break. Jamel is in Fort Smith. Jamel, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, Chuck and Bo. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great, man.
Hey,
good
Jamel,
to hear from
how's
you.
it going?
I am doing pretty good, and Chuck, you always be my favorite. Just doing the radio, and I enjoy listening to you. Broadcast the radio for the Hogs.
Thank you, Jamel.
Yes, sir. But I do got a question though. For y'all guys, if we beat Ole Miss today and everything, will we be locked for the March Madness? And if so, what seed are the Hawks are going to be in the tournament?
I think they're in now, Jamel. Could be wrong, I guess, but I think they're in. Lenardi had them at 9th this morning, going to Lexington, playing Marquette. I don't think they can get higher than that unless they were to run through this thing and win it. And I don't know that 5 games in 5 days really serves them well next week, to be truthful. But I think if they lose today, it's a toss-up between a 9 or a 10. I think if they win today and lose tomorrow, they'll be a 9.
Yeah. There are people still out there that are, saying that maybe anything weird could happen, and that could cause, or something weird could happen, and that could cause something to get Arkansas out. Joe Lenardi moved them. They're not even in the bubble conversation anymore.
No, they're Arkansas.
They're in on their own marriage now.
I do have one real quick question. Would you rather, Bart, in your opinion, Arkansas be a 9 or a 10 seed?
Probably a 10 seed.
Okay, just we
I would
maybe
prefer,
talk about it
yeah,
more later.
yeah.
But that 8-9 game is always like a. Do you really want to be in that game and then play the number one seed?
They're going to be
after
some
that?
strong number 1 seeds.
You don't want any part of that.
Brought to you in part today by First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. Always banking better, helping you bank better with more convenient locations and friendly Arkansans throughout the state. You can always bank better with First Security Bank, the official bank of Chuck and Bo. FSBank.com. You can find them online. First Security Bank, member FDIC. Courtney Deifel, the women's softball coach, has her team off to an amazing start. 10 years in, and they've got an amazing weekend coming up at Bogle Park. Number 1, Oklahoma, here this weekend. We'll talk to her about it next.
If I didn't have you and Bart and Edward to lean on, where would I be? And I think about other people that don't have that.
That's what we do. We lift each other up.
Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on, skied in the left. That ball's hit pretty well. It is gone. Brett Eibner's hit a home run and the ball game's tied. Brett Eibner has hit a home run and the ball game is tied. The Razorbacks down to their final out, and Eibner, for all his troubles this season, has just saved things.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
That's 782-8940. That's the only number you need to know for all of your heating and air, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs. That's 782-8940, the only number you need to know.
It's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. To have a red truck rolling your way today for great American-made York products, give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text our used bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit inatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, A Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, A Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's A Cut Above, 719-5605.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're telling me it's not about me.
Well, not entirely. Well, now, don't misunderstand me. It is all about you, but maybe not quite to the degree that we might hope.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas softball is one of 7 programs nationally to have appeared in the top 25 of every poll since the start of the 2020 season, joining Oklahoma, Florida, UCLA, Oklahoma State, Alabama, and Florida State. In her 10th season at the helm of the Razorbacks, Courtney Deifel joined us off to a great start, 20-3 overall, 1-2 in the SEC after a couple tough games in Oxford to begin conference play. They run-rolled the Rebels 20-3 in the finale of the series. So, Coach, thanks for hopping on with us today. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on this morning. I was kind of listening to your guys' recap.
Well,
fun to listen to.
I don't know if we've done anything good today, but we've got you on. So were you like everyone else watching the Razorbacks yesterday and being like, oh, come on, guys, hang in there, finish this off?
Oh, my gosh, yes. I had some bullpens. I was trying to sneak in and check the score. They were, staff was coming in and updating me. Gosh, they're just they're fighting. It's like every time you see someone kind of limp, you're like, you can't do it. We don't have enough, But they have really just fought their butts off through the year. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, as a coach, I know you appreciate the stories of overcoming adversity. You are hosting the 4-time defending #1 Oklahoma Sooners. Patty Gasso's won a lot of titles over there, and they're coming to Bogle Park for 3 games. I don't know whether to congratulate you on having such a big series at Bogle Park or wonder what you were thinking by taking your already ridiculously tough schedule and saying, hey, yeah, Oklahoma, why don't you join the SEC too? It's almost weird this is a conference game.
I know, it does feel a little bizarre just with them being here. We haven't played them in years now. And so for them to come in our first home SEC series, it feels a little odd, but it's going to be fun. There's so much just excitement on so many levels with this weekend, with it being the first SEC series, with it having the family connection, with just the fact that both teams are just flat good, and then the proximity, obviously, being so close to them. So there's just so much hype around it. The SEC is so strong, so it's been interesting to see throughout all the sports, everyone's take on the SEC, and oh my gosh, it's stronger than ever. Well, that's the conference we've been in forever, and then we just added #1 and #2. So, but why not? If you want to be the best, you gotta play the best, and so we're doing that this weekend.
Chuck, I literally in the moment forgot for a half a second that Oklahoma was in the conference, and as I started talking about it, I was like, "They're in the league now, you idiot!" As I'm asking the question. And then DJ Gasso.
I could hear you talk your way out of it. Yeah, I could hear you.
Well, it wasn't great.
I knew what you were doing. I could hear you talking your way out.
It wasn't great enough to not acknowledge it. I'll tell you that. DJ Gasso, who is an assistant for Courtney Deifel, is the son of Patty Gasso. That was the family connection. But anyhow, I've called myself out, Chuck. Fire away.
Well, no, I was just going to ask about having Oklahoma come into the league. It's not just an expansion. It's not just more teams. I mean, you're bringing in great teams. And I just wonder what their inclusion, not just from an Arkansas-Oklahoma rivalry perspective, but just from an overall picture of the league, what it means to have them in the conference now.
Well, it means that we just, the strongest conference just got stronger. We had established ourselves as the strongest throughout the entire conference, and you can see that, every weekend of anybody can beat anybody. Everybody is really tough. I think all our RPIs are 30 or higher. And so you add, the two teams that played for national championship last year. And so I don't think when you're asking the coaches in the conference, it doesn't feel a ton different because we've already been lining it up against the best. And so when you add two that are just not only so talented now, but just have such a strong tradition, it just feels like they fit in the already, really heavy gauntlet that we've been competing in.
I know you want to beat them. How's the matchup this weekend? When you look at them, your team, how do you see this thing?
Well, I see like it's a good matchup. I think that we're both really good at what we do. They have a deep pitching staff, so we're going to have to make quick adjustments. We're going to have to trust our plans. We don't have time to settle in. They're an offense that is not only explosive but can create havoc, and then they're nails on defense. If you were to ask someone to give a recap of our team, that's what they'd say too. We have a deep pitching staff. Our pitching staff's young, and so they're learning some big lessons, but they're freaking competitive and ready to go. And then we have a defense that's nails, and we have an offense that's explosive. And so it's going to be a game of adjustments. It's going to be a dogfight, but I'm glad we get them in Bogle.
When you took over this program, we don't even have to go through all of the records that you've set. Like, forget that for a second, and let's just say, like, you've put yourself in a position. I mentioned it earlier about just the national rankings since 2020. How would you describe the program's built? You've built it, but how would you describe this year's roster in terms of competing in this league? You kind of talked about it there. But what is the makeup of this team that gives you a chance to compete? I know, like, even at Oxford, losing a couple of games in the first weekend, you had all the opportunities and just couldn't get the timely hits to drive runs in with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the game sometimes, of getting the opportunities, not making the most of them, and every time you don't, you give a little momentum away. And that's the game. You could play well and not win. You can play terribly and win. So, we played terribly Friday and Saturday. It just wasn't us. It was really uncharacteristic of the team that we are. And you can sit in that, or you can want to make a statement and respond, and that's what they did on Sunday. But that's this team. I think every coach, when you start the year, you're wondering what your team's going to look like in adversity, what your team's going to look like when things don't go as planned. And so I think that's the thing that I came out of Oxford is that's not how we drew it up, obviously. We don't want to go down there and play bad and play flat. But when you look at those games, it's not anything they did to us. It's self-inflicted, and so we can fix those things and more so fix our approach and get back to who we are. And so their response on Sunday is what I'm most proud of, and that's what we're going to have to really hold on to going through the year, because this conference is going to punch you in the face sometimes. And it's unforgiving. And so we have to get back to who we are and be really confident in that.
Coach, how many vehicles have you guys damaged in BP in that parking lot over the left field wall? In the last year
quite
or
a
so?
few. I think that's one of the biggest tells of how far our programs come is, early years we didn't damage too many. I had to fight for a sign to be put up in the parking lot, and now now the word spreads and you can see basketball come out, and practice is starting. They come out and start moving the cars, so that's one of the biggest shifts we've seen.
Well, Bogle Park's going to be awesome this weekend. It'll be a lot of fun if you get a chance to go out there and watch, go check it out because it's if you haven't been to a softball game, like the action's so fast paced, it's so fun, and it'll be a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, the basketball players they can't park right there in that first row up against the softball field, or they're gonna and the sign's up now. And I've told this story before, but I was down there when DJ Gasso when Coach Teifel had first hired him to be an assistant coach, the hitting coach. And I met him to do an interview, and we happened to get out of our vehicles at the same time. And he said, "That's a nice truck. You might want to move that. We have BP." He didn't even know like who I was, and I didn't know. And that's how we met in the parking lot. And I said, "Are you DJ?" And he goes, "Yeah." "Are you Bo?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, you might want to move your truck." So it was a nice heads up. Well, congrats on the success you've had, Coach. Anything you want to say before we let you go?
No, I just want to thanks for what you're doing for softball and giving us the platform to talk about a big matchup and talk about a program that's pretty special. And then I want to say, if you haven't been to Bogle, to go back to what you just said, then what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Come out and watch this team. They're worth your time. You're going to love it.
It's awesome.
So,
it is a fun time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Courtney Deifel, the women's softball coach, with us on the Chuck and Bo show here. It is a fun
they have full
environment.
houses this
yeah,
weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be packed.
It's
you going, Bart?
Yeah, Bart goes a lot.
I will be there. Yeah.
Bart, how would you
It's
describe?
so fun.
Like for people that have been, we got to take a break.
Yeah.
But for people that have been to Baum, Walker, and they haven't been to Bogle, like there's so many similarities, but it's different.
It is. It's obviously it's a faster paced game. You're there for 2 hours. The game's not gonna. It's not gonna drag on and on and on. This team in particular is so fun to watch. They hit a lot of home runs. They've got a lot of great players, and it's rowdy. Like it's a rowdy
lot of
environment.
Involvement the whole game with the fans.
And it's rowdy, and it's kind of like being in the hog pen, at Baum Walker. It's just a lot of fun and a really great experience. Get out there this weekend.
I need to set something. We got to work on this. We need Bart to throw out a first pitch.
I don't know that we do.
That would be awesome.
And it's got to be underhand, and it's got to be humming. Hey, if you're
Bart,
watching,
do you sit in the stands or do you sit out in the grass?
I sit in the stands. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's involved. Like there's Bart's cutout. Look at that.
He's a heckler.
4-shot on
He's
the
a
street.
known heckler at Bogle Park.
Absolutely.
Heckling
Got
Bart.
a flight by Yingling in one hand, his phone in the other, and he's just letting it rip. Flight by Yingling's a great way to watch the game today too. They've got the 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and the skinny cans now available. You can get it at almost any restaurant. Just ask for it. It's Yingling, but the light version of Yingling, which is 95 calories. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 8:45. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach. I made some good calls today. You sure did. You sure did.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, Gutters.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier. If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies. Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus. Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precident. We'd love to help.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Let's go. It's Hot Wing Madness at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Hey, this is Phil Elson. Join me and Matt Jones for Halftime Live at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith for the first 2 days on Thursday and Friday of the Big Dance. Chow down on 50-cent wings, $3 pints, and $15 buckets of beer. Hot Wing Madness is back. 50-cent wings Thursday and Friday at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime?
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha.
Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479 Stadium.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
The Crane Team is your home for all your automotive needs in the River Valley. With 2 big Crane, Kia, and Hyundai locations in Fort Smith, the Crane Team has the perfect vehicle for you. From pickup and delivery to service after the sale, plus our famous huge Crane Cash discounts. The Crane Team simply can't be beat. Shop Arkansas's largest selection of Kia Tellurides, Hyundai Palisades, Sorrentos, Tucsons, and more. Visit us today or shop online at craneteam.com.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I'm glad you brought that up, Chuck, because
I am
fortunately...
You upchucked it.
It just came out.
How did you,
Came up.
Well, here, another segment with Upchuck Chuck.
By the way, that's a clever retort. That Upchuck, I've never heard that.
Tell you what, yeah, well, it's the first time since we started this show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Before we get thoughts on today's game, storm season's here, and we all know how unpredictable the weather can be. So don't get caught in the dark. Protect your home with a whole home generator from Paschal. Right now, get $500 off or a free whole home surge protector when you install your generator before May 1st. So now's the time at Paschal. Take advantage of no interest financing or low monthly payments, and imagine a whole home protection for the same cost is basically a daily cup of coffee. Schedule a free estimate now at gopaschal.com. GoPaschal.com. All right, the Razorbacks are playing again for a second consecutive day at noon. Chuck's going to have the call. What are you thinking, Chuck?
Got to value possession of the ball. I mean, Ole Miss is 4th in the country in turnover margin. They don't turn it over very much, and they force you to turn it over a lot. And it's been so long since the Razorbacks played them. I mean, it was the first part of January, and there are different starters for both teams will be today than there were in that game, and different people will play, won't play. Certainly, the way the minutes are distributed have changed for everybody. So that part's kind of a wash. But the one thing Ole Miss has done all year long is turn you over. And if Arkansas can avoid that and make some shots, I think they can win the game. Ole Miss is good offensively. They're not one of those teams that's consistently going to go out and just overpower you with their offense. So I think Arkansas can score enough points to win. I just think it's going to be a question of can they protect the ball and keep Ole Miss off the glass and do all the things you got to do if you're going to win.
Yeah, I go back to that first game. Wasn't Ole Miss the first conference game? Second conference game.
Second one.
Yeah, and
it was a conference home opener.
Yeah, that's right. And you just felt like Arkansas kind of let it get away a little bit. And then you look at their overall records now, or conference records, and they're so similar. Ole Miss 21-10, Arkansas 20-12. Ole Miss 10-8 in the league, Arkansas 8-10. You think about a couple of those early games that got away, but this is a completely different team than you had then. Avoid half-hour scoring droughts. Let's try that today.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, but otherwise, I just feel like this is a different team, and they're a dangerous team. They've
got a guy named.
You just
Malik
expect
Dia
them to win.
They really played well.
Yeah, I watch Arkansas now, almost expecting them to win, and then I watch hoping they won't give the lead away. But I don't go into games thinking, man, these guys aren't good enough.
No, I think Arkansas is good enough to win this game. Look, Ole Miss is the 8th seed. Arkansas is the 9. They're pretty close. One of them's going to play Auburn tomorrow, but Arkansas's got a little momentum going. I mean, what have they won? 5 of 6?
Yeah, 3 in a row.
That's a streak. And so I'll take my chances. Let's go play.
Hey, another thing happening this weekend: the NCAA indoor track meets start tomorrow. Both Arkansas teams are ranked number 1 in the country. Big weekend on the Hill with Courtney Deifel hosting and the softball team hosting Ole Miss or Oklahoma. Arkansas, number 1 Oklahoma. Arkansas baseball is going to Oxford. And the Razorbacks trying to win their 4th straight game today and second at the SEC tournament. Chuck, go have an amazing call.
I will. Thank you.
And then have an amazing afternoon in Nashville.
And then we'll talk in the morning.
And then we'll do it again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. For all of us at the Chuck and Bo Show, enjoy your Thursday.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new